midterms, and I've been going to a lot of college campuses, and truly a lot of people who voted last time have never voted before, and have no idea that everything they voted for 2 years ago can be wrecked by their not voting this time. So what I want to do is take a couple minutes here and explain how this looks to me, where America is, where we're going, and ask you, maybe plead with you, to think every single day for as much time as you can allot about the people who are not here. Not only in this congressional district, but throughout California. Or if you have friends in other parts of America who are in places where there are difficult races. Because I'm afraid this combination of anger on the right, apathy among the progressives, healthy dose of amnesia thrown in about how we got in the fix we're in, will wind up giving the American people the result they do not want, but may think they do. Now, I was telling Mike, you know, I'll be candid with you. When I started out in this election season, if anybody had told me that by now I would have done 83 events, I would have said it's crazy. Because most of my life is with my foundation. You know, I'm working hard to rebuild education. Looking at our projects in Ukraine on AIDS and tuberculosis. I went to Africa to review our projects. I've been to Latin America this year, look at our economic projects. I work all over the world and in America. This year we announced that we had reduced in our childhood obesity initiative, we have succeeded in negotiating agreements with the soft drink manufacturers that have reduced the caloric content of beverages served to our children in schools by 88%. I don't do this much. My objective when I started was to make myself available to people like Mike, who helped Hillary because she is one of only 2 people in President Obama's cabinet, the other being the Secretary of Defense, who cannot participate in politics. Because the Secretary of State and the Secretary of Defense are supposed to be beyond partisanship. So there's nobody to honor those people that helped us but me. They're stuck with me. And then I got out here and I realized what a fix the country was in and what a fix we were about to put ourselves in. And I still spend about an hour a day studying this economy, asking myself, you know, what should we do? How should we do it? How can we give our young people a brighter future? How can we get out of this fix quicker than Japan did? They had a real estate collapse in the 90s, and it took them a decade before they started really jetting again. And that's when I decided that I better get out and around and talk about this. So I can make you laugh for another 30 minutes with Tea Party stories, but it's irrelevant. What matters is, where are we now? What should we do? Who's going to do it? You hear all this stuff, all the rest of this stuff is smoke and mirrors. The only thing that matters is, where are we now? What should we do? Who's going to do it? And so here's what I think. Let me put this. You basically got here dueling stories in this election. The Republican end story goes something like this. Okay, we left him in a big hole. It was a big hole, but we gave him 21 months to dig out of it. They're not out. Throw them out, put us back in. And you should do that because in failing to get us out of the hole, they gave us too much spending, too much government, you know, tinges of socialism. It's a nightmare. We just can't afford to do it. Not 1 minute more. Our line is, well, first of all, the first 6 months of that 21 months, the train was still going downhill. This financial collapse did not start until 4 months before the president took office. And why is true that we're not out of it yet, at least we have stopped digging. So you gave them 8 months to dig this hole. Don't forget, before that financial collapse on September the 15th, 2008, before that, this country had produced 2.5 million jobs in 7 years and 8 months as compared to 22.7 million jobs when I was president. This country had... They talked about spending, they had double the debt of the country after I gave them 4 surplus budgets, paid $600 billion in on the debt. If they had just kept my budget, we'd be out of debt entirely by 2015. So our line is, all we're asking for is half as much time to get out of the hole as you gave them to dig. And you don't want to go back and bring the shovel brigade back in. At least we have stopped digging. So, to the people who aren't here, whose story are they supposed to buy? I have a radical idea. Let's treat this as if we cared about it. You know, you think about America, when something's really important to us, like football, don't laugh. When something's really important,